Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some MMA? Okay. I came here to talk some MMA or UFC with the hundreds and hundreds of True School Sports subscribers. Damn, we're talking about MMA and UFC now? I mean, I guess first time for everything. But anyway, wanted to talk and touch on this fight that took place between Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm on UFC 193 tonight. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I didn't watch it. I was actually watching boxing and the Golden State Warriors game, but I was keeping track of it. I watched a few highlights. Not a few. I watched a ton of highlights. I've watched 3-minute clips, 8-minute clips. I've watched enough highlights to make an assessment of this fight, so that is what I'm doing. And not just that, I wanted to touch on some other things too that I can now touch on now that Ronda Rousey isn't like at the top of the world. So we're gonna do that now. First of all, Holly Holm came into this fight and nobody really wanted to give her a chance. People wanted to just say she was a can, tailor-made for Ronda Rousey, too old, once all-time great female boxer, but not really. She hasn't really fought anybody in the top five yet. So this is her first time fighting somebody in the upper echelon, and she delivered and handed Ronda Rousey not only her first loss in the UFC, but in MMA period. Ronda Rousey's now 12-1 in MMA, 6-1 in the UFC. Holly Holm, this is only her third fight in MMA and the 10th fight, her third fight in UFC and 10th in MMA in general, and she was able to get the W and dethrone this Goliath, this giant, this hype machine, this hype job, this whatever you want to call it. Ronda Rousey is one of the most overhyped athletes on planet Earth, and I've been very frustrated with the hype she's been getting because it spills over into my favorite sport. And if it's hard to see what my favorite sport is, let's take a look at the set for a minute. I got Larry Holmes, Terrence Crawford, Mike Tyson, Miriam Mom, Chris Berg. Real, I'm not gonna say real, but guys who are, being a boxer is one of the hardest things to do on planet Earth. And I think with the rise of UFC and Ronda Rousey in particular, people, and with Mayweather Pacquiao being as unsuccessful as it was, people have been so quick to just take a huge crap on boxing and what it takes to be a boxer. I'm no pro fighter or nothing like that, but I've spent some rounds in a boxing ring, and I'll say this, one of my trainers down at the gym, shout out to Canino's boxing gym, one of my trainers, she once said that when it comes to combat and fighting, that it's really the less styles you have to use, so the less weapons you have to use, the more discipline it takes to be dominant in that one style. So, for example, MMA and UFC, I like it. Actually, no, I'm not really a fan of it. I follow recreationally and kind of just pay attention to it because of everybody else. But I don't really follow it hard or anything like that. But I know that the less styles you have, the more disciplined and dominant you got to be in that one style to be great. And guys like Mike Tyson to my right and Larry Holmes to my left, these guys did it better than anybody when they were fighting. And it really takes an intense mental fortitude. I think that a lot of fighters in UFC just don't. Now, I'm not trying to hate on them. This is not that video, or I'm not making a video like that ever. But it's just different. It's really different. And I think that with Holly Holm having success, not just success, but really beating Ronda Rousey, and her being a very prominent women's boxer, just goes to show you that boxers can adapt, and that that move, before she was able to kick Ronda Rousey and knock her out. Go back and watch about the 30 seconds before that. She slipped some punches. She was measuring her distance very well. She was using boxing moves to set that up. So, people out there that want to take a crap on the sweet science, I hope any people out there in MMA who don't really give boxing its due, really, just look at tonight, and I hope you really absorb tonight because Holly Holm showed you what was up. But Holly Holm, man, she went in there, she did her thing. She landed that straight left a bunch of times. She was able to not let Ronda Rousey dominate her on the ground or nothing like that. So shout out to Holly Holm, man. She went out there and she did her thing. She slipped punches. She was doing everything. She was doing everything tonight, and she looked sensational in the ring. and she deserves that win. You know, a lot of people doubted her. She had a lot of disadvantages. You know, Ronda having slightly more experience as an MMA fighter. Um, you know, her having when people deemed as a favorable style matchup with her being you know, having the judo and whatnot. There was that, and Holly Holm is older. She's 6 years older than Ronda Rousey, so youth was on Ronda's side, and it didn't matter because Holly Holm went in there and did the damn thing. And you know, to kind of go back to Ronda Rousey, and I'm not the kind of person that likes to wish that praise on people's downfall. I don't do that, but in a way, I'm very happy that Ronda lost because she needed to be humbled. She needed to be knocked down a peg or two, and you know, the one thing I never liked about Ronda Rousey, and the one thing that really turned me off about her, is she piggybacked off the. She's been trying to piggyback off the sport of boxing, and using the sport of boxing to make her name bigger, and that really pisses me off. Because if you're gonna be bigger, why can't your performance in the octagon be enough to warrant just that alone to warrant enough attention? Why do you got to use Floyd Mayweather and domestic violence and all that type of stuff to really hype your career up? You should be good enough alone on your talent and your performance alone in that octagon. And she's been piggybacking off of boxing, not just there, but now, and I'm so glad this happened because now I get to touch on this. Ring Magazine, the authority of boxing, you know, it's been declining ever since Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy bought it, but Ring Magazine, they put Ronda Rousey on the cover of a boxing magazine. She's the first MMA fighter to be on Ring Magazine. When I thought that was very disrespectful to a lot of the women's boxers, boxing today that are very talented and are doing great things in that ring. That pissed me off, and you know, I'm just glad she's humble, and I'm glad the hype's gonna calm down because number one, I think because of the rise of UFC, boxing, politics, and how bad Mayweather Pacquiao was, that the people have kind of been discrediting what it takes to be a fighter, and it really angers me. I don't care if you don't like boxing, just respect what it takes to be a fighter that's stepped in that ring. It does take a lot. Ronda Rousey, she got what she deserved tonight, and Holly Holm really showed you that boxers can go to MMA and dominate it, and beat elite fighters. You know, the way she slipped that punch when Ronda Rousey threw that punch and she slipped it, kind of stepped around her, turned her around. That's a boxing move, and she just looked great. And you know, I can't believe I'm sitting here talking about MMA right now. That's just very weird. So excuse me if I look weird right now, but it is what it is, man. Ronda Rousey, she took a really not a bad loss, but she took a really decisive defeat tonight, and just goes to show you, man, nobody's invincible. Mike Tyson lost a bunch of Douglas. Holly Holm beat Ronda Rousey. Upsets do happen in sports. Upsets do happen in combat sports, and you know, maybe we'll get a rematch, and maybe I'll sit here and I'll talk about MMA again one day. But Holly Holm shows you tonight that boxers can be elite UFC fighters. So that's what it is. Holly Holm scores the knockout against Ronda Rousey. Let me know what you thought about the fight, and where does Ronda Rousey's career go from here? And how about Holly Holm? What about Holly Holm? Ronda Rousey, you know, the hype job has been exposed. So leave your comments down below, subscribe, and until next time, take care, guys.